Hi, and welcome to another episode of Better Golf for Today, hosted by Tyler Dice Golf. We have another great show planned for you today. As always, I try and provide the best insights into the world of golf, whether it is tips, instruction, equipment, or anything else golf related. This week's main topic is going to be on how to practice on the course. As always, I'll be sharing what I'm working on, and this week's tip of the week is going to be on golf balls. So, let's get started. So, main topic. This video we're talking about practicing on the golf course. I talk about practice a lot. But yeah, so now just fair warning, not every golf course is open to this method of practicing, especially if your course has a problem with fixing pitch marks and divots. So if your membership does not like fixing pitch marks and divots, your superintendent is going to hate you if you practice on the golf course. So again, fair warning, like the superintendent may not appreciate you hitting 15 extra approach shots into a green every week. Like I said, he will hate you. So now that we have that out of the way, let's get into what you should be doing out there. And so kind of where to start. Tee shots, right? So let's start with tee shots. We'll kind of start from the farthest away and work our way up. Tee shots are very important, and if you're like most golfers, there are usually a hole or two that just don't suit your eye, and you struggle with the tee shots on those respective holes. Those trouble holes would be the ones to practice on, right? So hit 2 or 3 extra tee shots, and the goal is to get the ball in play first. Okay, so figure out how to do that, and then play the hole from there. So how should I explain this? So if you're struggling with a hole, okay, and you're hitting your normal tee shot on the hole, and it's just, again, the hole doesn't suit your eye. The best way to go about trying, at least in my opinion, the best way to go about trying to correct that and figure out, hey, like, I got to get this ball in play. I need to get the ball, like, so where I can give myself a shot, an easier shot into the hole. Because if you're hitting it out of bounds, hitting into a hazard, hitting it in thick rough, like, it's not gonna cut it. So, again, you want to figure out, like, hey, like, what can you do to get the ball in play? And then that's what you want to do, whether it's hitting a low runner or hitting a little fade or hitting a little draw or something or whatever. Like, whatever you have to do to get the ball in play. Maybe sometimes you'll even have to hit 3-wood off the tee or a hybrid just to get the ball in play. That's what you got to do. Because remember, if you're in play off the tee and at least you have a shot to the green, it's still way better than hitting it out of bounds, hitting into a hazard or a lost ball or whatever. So you just want to get the ball into play first. And as you start getting the ball in play, you'll start building up some confidence, and it'll get a lot easier to hit the ball into the fairway on that hole. So, but you just want to start off, get the ball in play, baby steps, okay? And so it'll take a couple weeks, but hitting 2 or 3 extra shots on that hole, getting the ball in play, building up that confidence, is going to really, really help you. And then, like I said, once you get the ball in play, figure out how to play the hole from there. And then once you get comfortable with getting the ball in play, then you can start to branch out and figure out how to score your best on the hole and how to get more aggressive. And because you have that confidence of hitting the ball in the play every time on that hole, you're going to be replacing bad memories of bad shots with good memories of good shots. And then you're going to move up to great memories of great shots. Okay, so that's kind of the goal. Start off, replacing the bad memories with good ones, and then good ones with great ones. And if you find yourself struggling, you always want to move to something that is positive and constructive to pull yourself out of that hole. So again, you want to reinforce good shots. You want to reinforce good shots with more good shots. You want to be constantly thinking about good shots. And if you come to a hole that you struggle with and you're only ever thinking about bad shots, well, again, you want to get the ball in play and start focusing on good shots. Because, what if you do have to drop down to hitting a hybrid off the hole? And you're like, hey, I have to hit hybrid into the screen. That's still better than hitting one out of bounds, okay? And by hitting a good hybrid, maybe every once in a while you hit a really good hybrid and you'll have like a long iron into the green. And so like that's a positive experience. Hey man, I hit that really good. Maybe next time I'll jump up to a 3-wood, and then you start hitting 3-wood, and you're like, man, I hit that one really good. Now I'm getting into where I'm able to hit some better irons into here. And you're like, all right, well, I'm ready to hit some drivers. And you start hitting some good drivers, and you're leaving yourself some wedges into the green. And so it's just kind of snowballs from there. So yeah, it's kind of how you want to approach your practice on the golf course with your tee shots. So with approach shots, it's very similar to your tee shots. You want to hit an extra ball or two on some of the harder par threes and some of the par fours you may struggle with on approach shots. And if you miss the green with an approach while you're out there practicing, drop another ball down and hit another shot, okay? Again, you want to leave with a good memory, not a bad memory. So again, I'm not recommending hitting 20 golf balls from the fairway, but like you want to hit a good shot and walk away thinking to yourself, hey man, I can do this. I hit a good shot there. I can do this. And again, it's very similar to hitting tee shots. Maybe if your normal shot doesn't work out well, figure out a way to do something a little bit different. Because doing something different means that you don't necessarily have a bad memory of doing that. So maybe next time you want to hit something that runs up to the green. So take an extra club, play the ball back in your stance, 3/4 swing it, and try and bounce it onto the green. Because you don't have a bad memory with that. And maybe figure out a way to get the ball close doing it that way. And then when you get some confidence going, again, go back to your normal shot. And so that's kind of how you want to practice your approach shots on the course. Short game. The world is your canvas with these shots. I try to practice shots that give me trouble and the shots that I see a lot of when I'm playing. So typically, this is a lot of tight lies chips for me from uphill lies. I've been spending a lot of time working on catching these shots pretty cleanly and to not take a divot. And what I found is that I needed to make a slight technique change to what I had been doing, and I've started seeing much better results. The key now is to work on getting the ball to land at a certain spot and have it release a certain distance correctly. And what I mean by that is I'm trying to make the shots spin more, so I'm working on restricting the amount of shot releases. Not necessarily an easy thing to do. But golf isn't easy, and if you want to take your game to the next level, you need to perform well at difficult tasks. So that's what I've been working on. So at your home course, you may see a lot more bump and runs. You may see a lot more shots from the rough. You may see, if you're at a golf course that has sand everywhere, you're going to see a lot of bunker shots. So you need to know what kind of shots you experience the most of. And so those are the ones you can practice when you're on the golf course. So if you have a sandy golf course and you have a lot of bunkers everywhere, practice bunker shots. If you have rough everywhere, practice shots out of the rough. If you have tight lies everywhere like I do, practice shots for the tight lies. Okay? Now for the other day, my golf course was dead. There was no one out there. So actually what I did, so at my golf course, number 10 and number 18 are side by side. So what I did is I actually just carried my bag, walked out there, hit a tee shot on one, then walked up to the green, dropped down 6-7 golf balls, and started chipping around the green. Now, just FYI, if you're going to chip around the green, make sure you carry your divot tool with you, because you will take little divots, and you better fix them all. Because again, the superintendent will hate you if you don't. So, I went out there on the number 10 green, and I chipped for probably 40 minutes. Again, fixing all my pitch marks, mind you. But yeah, I chipped for about 40 minutes, hitting a variety of shots, working on a lot of shots that I struggle with, and again, just trying to get a better feel for the greens out there and understand, like, hey, this is what the ball does at my home course, sort of deal. And so I spent a lot of time doing that, and then I walked over to 18 tee box and played in. And so then that's what I did. If your golf course is a little busier, you may only be able to spend 15 minutes on the green, and then you may jump to the next hole and spend 15 minutes on that green. Okay, so it's okay to go out there and play, quote unquote play, but only chip around on the greens. Like, you can chip around on a green, and then when the group behind you is caught up to you, just drive to the next hole. Chip around on that green, then just drive to the next hole. Chip around on that green, or hey, go to the next hole, tee off, hit an approach shot, then chip around on the green. Do something like that. It's okay, like especially if you're just playing by yourself and you have a group in front of you and you're kind of sandwiched in between. Do something like that just to help you get some practice in and not waste time while you're out there. So moving on, let's talk about some putting. For putting, when I'm on the golf course, I like to practice a lot of lag putts. And I like to see if certain pins break the way I'm reading them. So I definitely like to read putts on the golf course, and then I like to practice putting them. So again, what that means is I read a putt and I hit it. And if I miss, I'll make an adjustment and I'll putt again and see what the results are. Sometimes it's me that misses. Sometimes it's the greens that are finicky. And so you want to figure out, hey, is it me or if the green's finicky? If the greens are finicky, you need to make a mental note, store that in your brain, so the next time you come out there and you're playing for competition on your golf course, you know what's going on. But ultimately, I like to hit a lot of lag putts and just get a better feel for how the ball reacts to the slopes on the greens. You never know what a sweeping downhill putt can do if you don't try it. So I try and roll the ball over everything. Lots of lag putting here, man. Lots and lots of lag putting. That's what I do. So that's all I got for you, the main topic. Let's jump ship and go to what I'm working on. Currently, I'm working on improving my range of motion and not getting to my left side too early in the downswing. I've been working on this for a couple weeks now. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm getting way better. The improving my range of motion is definitely helping me with my early weight shift. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Now, this week's tip of the week is on golf balls. So when you are practicing, make sure you have a couple of golf balls that are lightly used that you normally play with. These are going to be your practice balls, and you can hit extra approach shots, chip shots, tee shots, whatever. You don't want to use a golf ball that's really beat up because it won't really work well off the tee. So remember I said lightly used. And so having these extra balls in your bags means you're going to get more realistic results with your normal ball, so it can translate easier to when you are actually playing. Range golf balls are no good. Range golf balls act like range golf balls. Your golf balls that you play with act like the golf balls you play with. So practice the way you play. And that's all I have for you this week. I know this is a little bit shorter of an episode, but kind of went through it pretty quick. But again, I really hope that you got a lot out of this episode, and I'm really thankful for you listening in. So thanks for listening. Stay tuned for more episodes because I have a lot more content coming down the pipe. Really appreciate y'all being here, and I do have a lot more episodes. Maybe that wedge grind episode will be right around the corner. So who knows? Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you later.